In my story about the Liberals being against Keystone XL, I told you about how it looked like Jim Carr, our own Minister of Natural Resources, was opposed to the pipeline himself. In an interview with the CBC, he told them that the Liberals weren't going to get involved in talking to the state of Nebraska about approving the pipeline route. This is essentially the key to getting this project finalized, so it's a big deal. He also said that we need to focus on getting our oil to markets other than that of the United States. It really made it sound like the Canadian government isn't all that interested in the project. It seems more like our government is just another roadblock in getting the pipeline up and running. And there's more evidence stacking up against them on that front. Remember I told you about paid professional protesters that are actively lobbying against the pipeline right here in Canada right now? Well, one of those groups is Environmental Defence. Why is this significant? And their executive director, Tim Gray, was hired onto a panel by the Alberta NDP government to make decisions regarding the Alberta oil and gas industry. Remember when Rachel Notley went to Washington to lobby for the industry and pipelines? Yeah, well, forget about all of that. Her panel appointees are the ones that do all of her dirty work for her and give us a little glimpse into how she really likely feels about the oil and gas industry. Here's a tweet from Tim Gray about Keystone XL. He finds the pipeline project embarrassing. You want to know who's funded Environmental Defence? Friends of the Greenbelt gave them $150 grand back in September of 2015. And lawyer Rod Northey is a former chair of that foundation. Why is he important? Well, the Liberals took a page out of the NDP's book and hired their activist pal to a panel that will, what they say, improve the National Energy Board's environmental review process. The NEB is, of course, a body that helps in decision-making when it comes to energy projects in Canada. I know, it's ridiculous to keep track of all of these activist organizations and their ties to the government. And they mean for it to be that way. Trust me, the more tangled the web, the harder it is to follow. What these ties tell me is that the governments, both provincial and federal, are probably lying when it comes to their public support for Keystone XL and other oil and gas projects. These aren't neutral people that they're hiring to these panels to make decisions for us. They're stacking them with their friends that hate the Canadian oil and gas industry. And in the words of Tim Gray, find it embarrassing. But you want to know what's really embarrassing? I've said it before. The Canadian government is being played over this climate change alarmism scam by other countries that are actually competitors and want our market access. Seriously. The United States, who recently lifted a 40-year oil export ban, started shipping LNG, built pipelines, and increased production of oil and gas under Obama, who touted the climate change agenda the entire time. Yet the NDP and the Liberals continue to hire their activist friends, implement carbon taxes, and make Canada less competitive overall. I've said it once and I'll say it again. Progressive governments are a roadblock to Canadian prosperity. If you think it's time to celebrate over this pipeline, think again. The Liberals won't lobby for it, and both the NDP and the Feds have their review panels stacked with anti-Keystone XL activists. Not only that, but other countries filling our market space will be light years ahead of us before our pipelines like Trans Mountain are even built. We have only one client in the US that's become our competitor. Now you do the math. One client, 0 pipelines to market access. We might as well say that the nail is in the coffin because the Canadian oil and gas industry is dead without the immediate go-ahead on these projects. For the Rebel.media, I'm Holly Nicholas. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our new Rebel Canada YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on any of our latest news that you just won't find anywhere else.